Hello, and welcome to The Beat, a news and talk program brought to you by the Center for Community Media here at Worcester State University. I'm your host, Alexis Aslanian, and today we'll be interviewing Jacquelyn Wolf, Director of the Office of Military Affairs. How are you, Jackie?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you for joining us today. Can you please tell the viewers about yourself and how you became the Director of the Office of Military Affairs and Veteran Services here at Worcester State University?
Well, I started out, I was in the Air Force Reserves. I did that for 10 years. Then I went active duty Army, and I did that for 7 years. And when I got out, I decided to go to college. I started working on my bachelor's degree, and while I was doing that, I was using my GI Bill benefits, and I became acquainted with the Veteran Services Office at the university I was going to. And at that point, I started working as a student worker in the Veteran Services Office. And I just started getting a passion for working with student veterans. So once I got my bachelor's degree, I started working at that university, doing a small part of what I do now. And just kept moving up the ladder and moved to Massachusetts, and I've worked at a different state school doing pretty much what I'm doing right now. And when I saw this position come open here at Worcester State, I applied.
It's exciting. Can you discuss some of the benefits of joining the military before attending college?
Some students aren't really ready for college right away. They don't really know what they want to do in life, and the military is a good option for that. In my situation, I couldn't afford to go to college, and so the military gave me college education that I wouldn't normally have been able to afford.
Are there challenges students face when they transition from active duty to becoming a full-time student?
Oh yes, there's quite a few challenges that students will face. Number one, pretty much all students, the methods of communication in the military are very different from the communication that you would get in a university. Universities are generally free thinking. You're here because you want to be. There's a syllabus the professor will give you outlining pretty much what's going to happen in the course. But in the military, you're given checklists and you're told where to be, what time to be there, what uniform you're going to wear when you get there. You know you're going to be there 15 minutes early. And one of the challenges students have is they come to college and the syllabus gives a great amount of information, but they want to know exactly what time each thing is going to be due, how it's expected. They take the syllabus very literal sometimes. And it says no excuses. They take that to mean no excuses. And I've had situations where students have ended up in the hospital and thought that they had to drop their class because there was no excuses. And it's like, that's not exactly what the professor meant. But they tend to take things very literal if they're in writing. And so that's part of my job too, is to help them understand this is a serious situation and there will be an excuse that will allow you to continue with your class.
Being in the military, it's definitely very structured and precise so that when they transition to college and it's not as harsh, a little more lenient, they kind of forget that, you still are a person at a university and you can definitely communicate with your professor to coordinate reasons.
Absolutely, absolutely. They also, some of them are coming from combat situations, which brings another set of challenges with it. And there's so many different career fields they may be coming from and planning on going to college, and it takes a little while for them to regroup and learn the flow of the university.
Right. And through the military record review process, what types of experiences or training programs typically get approved for course credit here at the university?
Well, it depends on what kind of jobs or career fields they did in the military. But if they're trying to do a major that's similar to what they were doing in the military, They could have been a newscaster in the military, and so some of those credits, some of what they did in their job could count as credits if they were, say, going for a communications degree. If they were doing some form of nursing in the military, then they may get some nursing credits coming out. If they were in a management position, then they may have some management credits that they could use. A great deal of what they do would still count, but only as electives. So it's not like their military experience would be completely lost. It just wouldn't necessarily all apply towards the degree they're going towards.
Because we do offer a wide variety of majors and minors that you can declare here at Worcester State.
Absolutely.
And there's lots of things that they do out in the military that definitely apply here to the university.
Absolutely. And in the past at other schools I've worked at, I've had students show their military experience and talk to professors in certain fields to explain what they did and actually get permission from those professors to count that experience as credits.
Good, so they definitely get support from all around here.
Absolutely.
What is the Valor Act, and how does it help student veterans?
There's a few different things in the Valor Act, but the most important part of it is that if a student has just moved here, they could be from here, they might not be, but when they get off active duty, normally to establish your in-state tuition, you would need to live in that state for a year before you try to go to school and do various things like get your driver's license in the state, find a place to live. The Valor Act allows a student to get off active duty and go to whatever state they want to live in and apply for school as an in-state student at that time. It also allows their family members to do the same thing.
Their family members as well?
Yes.
That's interesting. What other types of services does the Office of Military Affairs and Veteran Services offer?
We do support services for National Guard. If they get activated, I assist with their orders and helping them to drop their classes. There are laws to protect them, but you need it very well documented, and so we would take a copy of their orders. I would verify. In some cases, recently when we had the things going on at the Capitol, I had several students that got orders in the middle of the spring semester. They didn't even, it happened so quick, they didn't even have orders. They just got a memo.
Right.
And I had to contact their point of contact on the memo to determine how long were they going to be gone, and then decide from there if we would need to drop them out of the class or if there was something they could work on with their professor and get an incomplete. But to protect the students so they wouldn't take an F for that class. And I also would help with any kind of problem they're having at home. I've got a lot of different community partners, I guess you could call them, just different organizations in the community that I have contact with. So if they're having trouble with food, I know somebody, actually several organizations I could send them to. If they needed school supplies for their kids going back to school, I know several different organizations to help with that. I know an organization that can help them get a computer, all different sorts of things. And if they come to me with a problem, I don't know who to contact. I have a whole bunch of other community people that can help assist find the right organization for them.
So it sounds like there's many sources that are here to help the student veterans.
Absolutely.
And if you don't mind me asking, what were some of those laws that you say protect the student veterans?
I don't know the exact law number, but there is a law, there's federal law as well as state laws that say that if a student has orders, you can't just automatically fail them when they come up on orders, and you have to give them the opportunity, even if they're gone for like say a whole year, you still have to give them the opportunity to complete that class.
Good. Does the Veteran Affairs Office offer any postgraduate support to students?
I do. I'm new here at Worcester State, but in the past, there's nothing specifically written out, but I do still stay in contact with old students, and they will periodically ask me for job references, advice. They will contact me and say, I'm thinking about another major. What do you think about this? Do you think this would be a good fit for me? That sort of thing. Yeah, I'm still in contact with students all the way back to my days in Hawaii, and so that's just kind of funny, but.
Can you provide us with an example of how a student working with your office was able to find success at Worcester State or after college?
Well, at Worcester State, yes, we've recently had, there was a new student that just came in from Becker, and he was having a little bit of trouble streamlining everything, and so I was reaching out to residence life and to student affairs and trying to help smooth everything over for this student. And he seems very happy now. He's doing great.
Your office definitely had benefit him
Definitely.
here and eased his transition from Becker. That way he could make himself more comfortable at this university.
Absolutely, and he's making friends now. He's
Good.
meeting lots of new people.
Is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers today?
Well, the student veterans, they actually, once they can form a sense of community here on campus, they really take that very seriously, and this is like a home to them, and they work really, really hard to do everything they can. Close-knit. They just love Worcester State.
I know I love Worcester State myself. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Jacquelyn. It was very good to have you here. Thank you for watching this segment of The Beat. Please remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We'll see you next time.